I tell you, I tell you, I tell you, I don't know. I'm trying to do the little announcement, and it was only a little announcement, but it's a big deal because it's something that for so many times, I got a setback trying to make it happen from all of these trips to the hospital. So the ones that's really been truly following me knows exactly what I'm talking about. They even had a couple of them being sarcastic. Okay, it's Friday and we still haven't gotten a phone call. Wait a minute, I've been sick. Okay, and yeah, I might have been camera shy, but I wasn't never telephone shy. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't barely talk. But you guys don't understand that, but you may want to look that up. You know, look up acute respiratory failure. Yes, you do need to look that up. And it explains everything about acute respiratory failure. You can't get oxygen, air into the lungs, and you can't push air out of the lungs. And so you have all that air in the lungs and it's not moving. And if it's not moving, it's not even circulating into the bloodstream. It's not going up to the brain or nothing. So what do that tell you? That's why it's respiratory failure. If you can't breathe, what do they do? What is the first thing they do when you can't breathe outside of the mouth to mouth? They want to set you or place you, put that little trickler on your throat, cut that little trickler, put that tube down the trickler trait in your throat and place you on what? The respirator. Thank God, I just have not made it to that. Thank God, thank God, thank God, I have not. But they have made many discussions about if I didn't start circulating the air, what they would have to do. And then they would address it. We really don't want it to come to that because they will have to induce me into a mild coma, and that by itself could kill me, you know, inducing me into a coma that I may not even come out of. So, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty serious when it gets like that. And only when it gets like that. But, you know, all the bleach, increasing the usage, the heavy usage of bleach and increasing the heavy usage of pine sol, knowing that any type of smoke is smoke to my body. It can't tell one part of smoke from the other. Burning incense is like depicted in Pulling Away with the Lungs. They burning incense, and then if they're not burning incense, they got the nerves to burn some candles. If they're not doing that, they're smoking weed, and that's even worse for my lungs. You know, it's kryptonite for me. And then any kind of smoke. And then at the same time, while they're doing that, they don't went and figured out how to bypass my room with the air conditioning unit. And so I had to suffer way through all of the heat along with the high volume of with the high volume of bleach and pine sol and all these other trigger points. And then that's when they said that my medical condition has been compromised. Compromised means made worsen. It wasn't worsened because I was getting worser. It was made to be worsened. They were doing things to make my medical condition worsen and cause me to be in the hospital, you know, because of their poor excuse of fault and how they were thinking and feeling and how they felt like they needed extra money from me. You know, the money that they were charging for the room and board, and I never got anything but room, and I'd supply my own board, and I was told that I was supposed to have been getting meals or something. I didn't get anything from them. But they wanted to get the IH because in my medical condition, my situation, I do get IHSS, meaning they do pay for someone to come into the home and clean for me, if necessary, cook for me, or, you know, what have you, bathe, groom, you know. And so these people wanted that extra money, but they didn't want to do anything for it. And the moment they found out they couldn't get the money, the whole stanky attitudes changed. That's when I became a threat. I became the villain. I became the person, the enemy across the line, or that, I don't know. And then they started talking about, don't listen to her, she's a big liar, she's this, she's that. For, let me get this straight, for protecting my health, for protecting me. To, every time I had to go to the hospital, you know, they got to ask you 99 questions while you're on the phone. Why is they coming to your house for? What is this emergency? What's going on? What? And then they got but it's a very good reason why they ask you what is going on. And once you tell them and what you're doing, they are able to give you feedback according to what's going on with your respiratory. Okay, if you're taking a treatment, ma'am, we need you to continue to take that treatment until the ambulance get there. They are on the way. Just continue to stay on the nebulizer. And that saves your life, because I don't have a CPAP. And then, you know, the ambulance workers, the paramedics, they did tell me that you don't even really have to put medicine in it. You can just have it running and use it that way. But I never used it that way. But yeah, you can use that. The air from it, the pressure from the air, is going into the body. You know, pushing something around to keep you alive until they can get to you and do whatever it is. And then a lot of them, many of them, they'll come in there with the oxygen tank and try to hurry up and get you to the truck to hook you up so that they can start the first treatment, prednisone, and start that Duonab stuff, you know, which is the nebulizer solution and stuff like that, until they could get you to the hospital. But sometime, and this done happened to me twice, and thank God the last time that someone had it on the truck, and 2 times before that someone had it on the truck. Sometime they will travel with their own. They will purchase their own, not the CPAP, but the other one. It's a CPAP and BiPAP. So that they'll travel with their own and have it on the truck. And those are the 2 times I was very lucky to get to the hospital with no problems. Because if you got that, it does help until they could get you, because they got to get you out the ambulance, take you in the hospital, stand up there and talk to them for a minute, and then put you to the side, and then they got to get over there to you. You know what I'm saying? And all this time is wasted unless they already have one. Now, depending on the severity, they will get you in one of those rooms. If they got to hurry up and get you up in there, you know, each time that I went like that, they did hurry up and get me up in the room too. So, yeah, it's just that you stay in the emergency room for probably 12 to 15, 18 hours before you even sent upstairs, you know, lots of times. But it's better for them to take their time and do it right than for you to be getting rushed. You know what I'm saying? So I like the whole system that Kaiser has and offers. It's just, yeah, they like UC Davis, very slow. They like an ant, but they get to the root cause of the problem real quick too. Some of them don't, just like anywhere else. But yeah, I really would like for you guys to look that up. Acute, ACCUTE, acute respiratory failure. So you guys will know what Miss Wisdom be working with, and what Miss Wisdom be dealing with, and why Miss Wisdom each and every time I was having these attacks that was created for me to have them. These are not ordinary attacks. And then doing these attacks and taking prednisone, that's the only thing that treats the lungs. But we know prednisone is a high potent steroid, and everybody knows steroids, they attack the bones and the muscles, and my teeth are all getting attacked. And then they're going to say I'm lying, but I had beautiful teeth. I can show pictures, videos, and now I got a hole here, a hole there, a cap here, a cap to the crown, whole tooth coming out. Come on. Somebody's got to pay for my teeth. And then they're mad. So I'm lying. I tell you, I'd rather cut my tongue off than to lie. I have never been a liar. Never. And I never will. Such petty things. Why would I have to lie about